Hey everybody,
I'm Sir.
I'm Caleb.
and I'm Will, and we are Working Title! New eyes unlocked. Da-na-na.
We are back for another episode of Dope Note. Today's is click, 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 click.
Right. Nope.
We went far past it. Love. Love.
L is for the way you look at me.
Oh.
Oh,
Is that the song?
it's
right?
magic.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
It is.
You,
I didn't know.
for the,
I didn't know
for
words
the
were
only
good.
one I see.
One I see.
I didn't know the
Me
Oh shit.
is very, very extraordinary.
Is even more than anyone
that that you adore or that
could ever endure.
Could ever adore. I don't know.
We have a new Kira.
Kira.
Make sure you like a video.
Please.
A video, not this video.
Like
a
one video today, guys.
Subscribe
Subscribe
to the
to one channel.
Leave a comment down below. How hyped are you for the boys to be watching Death Note for their first times? Not me, I've seen it. But these two beautiful young men. They're single. Marry them, please. Oh, this is derailed. Punch it!
Then marry them, please.
Please.
Get them out of my house. I don't want to see them anymore.
They keep coming over and they won't leave.
That's so much fun.
Such a cursed existence of a show.
There she is.
Is that her? Because that looks like a
it's
different
her.
hair color.
No, that's.
That looked like brown hair.
I think it's because it's raining. It's wet. Throw off the audience.
Maybe. Maybe not.
Love.
Love. What is the meaning of love?
All along, I've been trying to find a way to get involved in the investigation, but I never thought they would actually approach me. Now I'll have access to classified information about the case, which means I can learn more about this other Kira. I need to figure out what this imposter is all about before someone else on the task force beats me to it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Light. Not at all. After all, I want to catch Kira as much as you do, Yuga.
I'll have to ask that you call me Ryuzaki here.
God, he's got so many
I'm
aliases.
And I'm Ase.
It gets confusing. Intentionally
Of
so.
course.
Okay, let's get down to work. You can start by looking over all the information we've collected. I'd also like you to examine these videos. They were sent to the TV station but were never aired. We will begin now.
Is his hair getting grayer every episode?
It is.
Okay, I was gonna bring it up last, but I didn't know. So it behooves him to come to the same conclusion.
Yeah.
This video is so mediocre, it's making me sick to my stomach. Maybe it's because I'm the real one, but this is a complete disgrace to everything Kira stands for.
It's because it's actually me. He's like seething in his seat.
It seems unusual that no one bothered to explain this video to me.
Blasphemous to a god.
It's probably best if I say nothing. If I just leave it alone, L dies.
So, what do you make of this, Light? Have you come to any conclusions?
Her?
Damn, it's a test. It's hard to say for sure, but there might be another person out there with Kira's power.
With Kira's power? But what do you mean by that, Light?
At the very least, I'd say this tape was not created by the Kira we're familiar with. It's extremely out of character for him to use these kinds of victims for his killings. And since we've established that he needs a name and face to kill, it makes you wonder how he was able to kill that detective and those two officers right outside the television station like that.
It's the same.
That's almost exactly how Ryuzaki said it.
That was incredible, Light. Now any doubts about you should be resolved.
Big brain
I
play.
think you're exactly right about that. We also believe that this is the work of a second Kira.
They're all stunned.
So you knew about this all along, Ryuzaki? Which means
God
this
damn
was
it. It's going well, guys.
tests?
It wasn't my intention to test you. The truth is, if I was the only one who thought there was a second Kira, it wouldn't be too convincing. But the fact that we both came to the same conclusion makes the theory that much more believable. As expected, you did not disappoint us. You've been a great help.
I love it.
It's decided then. First, we must focus on stopping this copycat. From what we've seen, he sympathizes with the real Kira, but clearly lacks his sophistication. I think he might even be willing to obey the original. If so, we could lure him into a trap by sending our own message from the real Kira.
I guess I shouldn't be surprised. You literally took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, and Light, I would like you to play the part of the real Kira.
Of course, dude.
Yes, you're the only one I can think of who would be able to pull something like this off. At any rate, we don't have time to waste.
See if the real thing slips out from the play.
O.J. Simpson, if I did kill.
Yeah, literally.
Damn him. He must have been planning this from the beginning. It's the only reason I'm here.
Why are you staring at me so
Does this look
angrily?
okay? I think I managed to make it believable.
Why does he hold everything like
This is
this?
how I read too.
However, if we don't omit the
Reading
part that
Berserk.
says you're free to kill L, then I'm gonna end up dead.
Sorry. I guess I got carried away playing the part. I figured if I
He
was here, my
seems
throat
like,
demanded
what the hell is happening? This doesn't even make
I was
sense.
improvising.
The hell is this stupid shit?
Where's my apples at?
I'm really hungry.
Okay, Aya, the script is ready. I'll leave it to you.
And now, a shocking announcement. In response to the frightening Cheetah video aired on Sakura TV only a few days ago, an
I was
anonymous
shocked.
individual has contacted us claiming to be the real Cheetah.
Fear and violence.
In short, he has demanded of this network, as well as several others, that we air the message you are now about to see.
I'm Kira,
It worked! I knew he'd answer me.
the true Kira. The one who was broadcast on Sakura TV several days ago is a pretender, a fake. The purpose of this message is to communicate my will to this imposter. I have chosen to remain with him for the time being, only because I believe he wishes to cooperate with me in the creation of a new world. But I want to make it absolutely clear that the taking of innocent lives is against my will. If this person claiming to be me is truly sympathetic to my cause and wishes to be of some help, I ask two things of him. That he refrain from killing aimlessly, and that he agree to abide by my basic principles.
Yay! Now, where is that camcorder?
What are you planning to do?
Hello? Do you really need to ask? I'm going to reply to him, of course.
Ryuzaki, we have a reply from the second Kira.
What? Really?
Already?
I'll be bringing over the envelope and tape that we received, but in the meantime, I'm streaming a copy of the video so you can view it on your end.
Kira, thank you for your reply. Please do not worry. I will follow orders and do as you say.
Whoa, it worked. I will do as
Submissive
you
as
say,
fuck.
This guy's gonna be no help at all. If this fake had any idea what my wishes were, he'd insist that Elle appear on TV and then kill him anyway. How could you fall for something like this?
He's so pissed.
I really want to meet you.
Oh.
I don't think you have the eyes, but you don't have to worry. I would never try to kill you. That's a promise.
What the hell is he thinking? Talking about Shinigami eyes in a public message like this.
What's this having the eyes supposed to mean?
Fuck.
What does that mean?
When we meet, we can confirm our identities by showing our Shinigami to each other.
No! No!
He's a liability. If I don't do something about him quickly.
What the?
Ryuzaki! You alright?
Shinigami?
He doesn't like it at all.
Am I supposed to believe that? Did Shinigami actually exist?
I mean, it goes against all logic and reason that everything's happening is ghosts.
I love this. Oh, no.
He's so upset.
I'm upset too.
Even I got shocked. I was like, why are you saying Shinigami?
Am I supposed to believe that?
No!
Bullshit.
Shinigami actually exist?
That's impossible. Obviously, they don't exist.
Yes, that's right, Ryuzaki. Listen to yourself. Of course Shinigami don't exist.
Oh my god.
You're probably right. Kira had those prisoners write something suggesting the existence of Shinigami.
So based on that fact, perhaps we're dealing with the same person after all. That would definitely explain why we're hearing the same words.
I don't think so, because If this was the same person, it's highly unlikely he would have responded to our video in the first place. And why would he agree to let L live after going to all the trouble of getting him to appear on TV?
L is
the real
scared.
Kira wants him dead, so it doesn't make sense.
And maybe there's some other connection between the real one and this
Got a
new
headache.
one.
It's as Light says. If the two Kiras were connected, I don't think the imposter would be so willing to give up on his plan to kill me.
Oh, look at the animation.
All of this suggests to me that the copycat has his own agenda and is acting independently of the first. I believe his actual motivation is to meet the original.
I think you're right. Saying we can confirm our identities by showing our Shinigami to each other probably means that they confirm their identities by somehow demonstrating their ability to kill.
Yes, that's it. Based on their messages, we can assume that the word Shinigami must hold some other meaning that only the real Kira.
You would have thought that would be the first thing instead of the.
Now we just need to
Dragons exist.
So
Scared unicorn zombies.
Now, if I were Kira himself, my priority would be to prevent this imposter from coming into contact with the police. This is good for us, because it means that the real Kira may feel pressured to respond this time.
Okay, but let's say that he doesn't respond. Then what do we do?
Yes, I've been thinking about what the second Kira might do if he gets no response. For one, he might reveal more information that he knows Kira once kept secret, to pressure him into a meeting. Of course, that would make Kira nervous. It could be interesting. And what would be more interesting?
It's like, what the
sends a
fuck?
message of his own to prevent this from happening.
This is the perfect scenario to see how Kira behaves.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Yes. Beautiful. Just like that. Perfect. I'm telling you, these are gonna knock him dead. You look like a little angel, Misa.
Oh, I'm so tired. That shoot went on forever. Modeling takes a lot of energy. Hey, Ben. Can I ask you something?
What is it?
Each Shinigami has to have one death note of their own. For a Shinigami to give a notebook to a human, he needs to have two. Ryu could give a death note to Kira because he somehow found a way to sneak an extra one past the Shinigami King.
Right.
What about you?
The Shinigami King isn't someone who's easily fooled. It doesn't happen often.
Oh, then how did I get mine?
Let's just say it has a lot to do with the fact that I'm one of the few in the Shinigami realm who knows how to kill another of my kind.
Whoa!
That's how I ended up with two.
Oh, I think I get it. You killed the Shinigami and then you gave his notebook to me, right?
It's not like that. I wasn't the one who killed him. I just happened to be around when he died. It was coincidence, really.
So, how do you kill a Shinigami? I have to know. Well?
Never repeat this to anyone. I learned the only way to kill a Shinigami is to make them fall in love with a human.
Interesting.
What a beautiful way to kill.
Jesus. I mean, I guess. She's got snake eyes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
There once was a Shinigami named GELUS who spent all of his time watching over a certain human girl. GELUS wanted nothing more than to look at her as she went about her daily life.
Well, this wasn't that long ago.
It's today, isn't it? Her last day alive.
She looks so full of life. I wonder why today. It's just not fair.
Aw.
I also wanted to find out how she was going to die, so I stayed and watched with him. It was nighttime and she was walking alone. No one else was around. And then it happened.
Oh.
A man suddenly appeared and blocked her path.
That's a little
He was
light.
clearly infatuated with the girl.
I love you more than anyone else in the world. I've always wanted you. I want to protect you forever.
She'd never seen the man before, and of course, turned him down.
Why? No one. Oh.
Wait, What are you doing?
He's gonna kill the dude.
Without even thinking, Jealous did something that we Shinigami must never do.
He intervened in the death of another.
Yeah, I think so.
Jealous used his death note to kill the man instantly, and therefore saved the girl's life. It was the wrong thing to do. Shinigami exist only to shorten and take human lives. We aren't permitted to undo that which has been fated.
Damn. Rest in peace, Jealous.
Super
At that moment, Jealous became something which was neither sand nor rust and disappeared forever.
Interesting.
He died. The only reminder of his existence was his death note, left behind. The rest of his lifespan was added to hers. So not only had he saved her life, he'd accidentally extended it well beyond its natural end.
Whoa.
Damn.
So if he'd never fallen in love with this girl, he'd probably still be alive today, wouldn't he?
That's right.
I wonder if we're gonna see her then.
I mean, she's like really
I
old.
had no idea.
Or can be really old.
All this time
It's
I
gonna be
thought
like
it was
300.
love, but it was a Shinigami who saved my life that day.
What?
Yes. Jealous loved you enough to die
What?
for you.
That was her?
So that death note is now yours to keep.
Oh god, she's like, that's why she gave up half her.
Oh.
Yeah, that's why she took the Shinigami out. I see.
I see. For a Shinigami to die, they have to love a human enough that they'd prevent their death from happening. So what about you, Rem? You're not in love with me, are you? Be honest.
Just forget it.
Rem.
You really think you can kill me that easily?
Oops, you saw through that? I'm so glad. At least now I have something interesting to tell Kira. But I wonder, does he know how to K-I-L-L a Shinigami? I asked him on TV to find a way for us to meet
She
each
just
other,
said,
but he
don't
hasn't
repeat
replied
this.
to me
Yeah,
yet.
literally.
What's taking him so long? Maybe I should just send him another message.
This isn't good. I can't allow this second kid to act on his own for much longer. He's careless, so it's only a matter of time before he slips up, and when he does, the police will be waiting. With him in custody, they could find out about the death note.
Something to start.
A strawberry sundae, please.
Of course. Be right back.
What should I do? How can I contact the second kid without Elle noticing anything?
Here you go. Enjoy.
What if he just turns around and sees the Shinigami?
that's what I was
He just
like,
looks over
I'm
his shoulder
saying.
like, oh, there she is!
I wonder,
Just
what
turn
kind of
around!
person are you, imposter?
I wonder, what kind of person are you, Kira?
Darn it!
They're fucking so close.
Darn it!
Alright. R.I.P. Jealous or whatever that dude's name was, bro.
Love.
It was gut-wrenchingly sad.
I know. I love the little like puppy dog design of the little pug.
I know, he like,
Jealous.
he was sweet.
He's
Like,
just,
for a god of death, he was
sad.
very like, oh.
It's so cute. I forgot about that one, man.
He only had one eye, but it was
Oh.
still cute. The
he
one
couldn't
eye.
help the one eye, probably.
He looked like a misfit toy that got like
He
stitched
did.
up several times because children never loved him. How horrible. Okay, first of all, if the day one, this ain't happening because Shinigami, I hope aren't real, but should we ever become Shinigami, I'm writing somebody's random name in. I'm just gonna find somebody that's like a really nice person so I can fall in love, get the heck out of being a Shinigami, go and move on to eternity. I think that's great. You die. You have to live forever.
I mean, you could just not do your job. They don't live forever. They live.
They
live
take the years
live-
from the people they
They
kill.
live as long as the.
True.
I mean, so like, unfortunately, if you want, like, the test would extend your life. Like, imagine you're like, like, you didn't get the stipulations, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For everything, and you're like a 40-year-old Shinigami, and you're supposed to live to 80, and you see a baby that's supposed to live to 80, and you're like, you know what? We're just gonna try it, you know? And you do it, and then you extend the 80, and so now you live 160, and you're like, well, I guess I'm stuck on this plane for a while. And if you don't find out about it until after like 10 killings, you're like, oh, by the way, you're extending your life with every kill. And you're like going through doing the math. And you're like, wait a minute, I'm going to be 1,000 years old? No!
That'd be a nightmare.
And who knows, I mean, like, how old Gelus was, or how much more life he had left to live.
Yeah.
Because
it's a true fact.
Because what if he had like 10,000 years?
We don't know how old Misa is now, man. She could be very old, or be living for quite some time at this point. We got a name. Misa.
Misa.
Mother in Old Valyrian, or Giscari.
Yes. Misa.
Misa.
Nerd.
So, the goth has revealed herself. What do you think of her?
A little bit of a sycophant for Kira. It's kind of weird.
What does that word mean?
Like overly obsessed.
Oh, okay.
Like, what's it called? Like, you're like apologetic, or like you could do no, like this person could do no wrong. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
Kanye fans,
Elon Musk fans, like those kind of people. You know what I mean?
I love the way he's like.
Yeah.
He understood the sycophant right in that.
You had to use the first one so quickly.
Yeah, but yeah, it's pretty much her. And I mean, that's not the start of the episode. The start is Kira got brought on board. They're doing this whole little name game where now they have new aliases on top of the aliases they already had.
Ryuga, Ryuzaki, L.
Which you know is funny and kind of smart, because that's just gonna F up everything between all of them anyway. So it'll get so confusing to the point that Kira won't be able to figure out what the hell is happening.
Yeah.
Too many names to work with.
Well, you know, too, I was thinking about, I know there's probably a real name for the term. Like, have you ever heard the term of, like, Freudian slip?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's talking about a very specific kind of thing. But, you know, when someone's talking and they unintentionally, you know, it's like, oh, I'm so used to yelling at Caleb all the time because we get in arguments. So when Sam's doing something, I'm like, Caleb, Will, like, or just Sam, you know, like, you doing that thing. Or, like, parents do that a lot with kids who have multiple kids.
All the sons are just one son.
Yeah. Every son just ends up being Sam.
Every son doing a bad is the one
son that
bad.
always does the most bad.
Yeah, that happens a lot in my house.
Yeah, no, I was like, you'll relate to that one specifically. But with that being said, I'm horrible at that because I always slip up and say someone else's name in conversation. And sometimes I literally would do the 3 name and be like, Sam, wait, no, fuck, Adam, no, fuck, Caleb, that's what I'm talking to.
Yeah.
I've done that a lot,
Yeah,
so I can't imagine being light and having to play that game to be like, oh yeah, like, Kira would not think of this, instead of being like, well, I don't think that's the right idea. And then they all are like, imposter noise starts playing. You know what I mean? Like, how could you like manage that through every situation?
He vented.
I'm so like, luckily for me, for my close friends, Caleb, Will, Adam, Lucas, like, you guys all have very distinctly different names, so it's easy. But like, we have friends named Alicia and Elena, and I've never gotten that right. To this day, I feel like I offend them truly in their hearts because I slip up because it's just too close, and it's just hard. It's interchangeable.
Yeah.
They're sisters, not much years in difference, so it's just hard. It's just Alicia, Elena.
Yeah.
And I feel horrible for it, but I've never been good with names. I do. I truly feel horrible.
I can't help it. I suck at it.
I'm so bad at it, and it's so bad because I've known him for years. But But I try not to give my dad hard times anymore because my brother Zach, it's like the chosen name, so it's always Zach, it's always Josh, and then me.
Yeah.
And it's never me first, so it's always addressed, and I just assume now that talking about me, or at least a couple years ago, I used to assume that, but I think they've gotten better at it. But, moving on, that was a funny little bit in the episode.
Yeah.
He's proven to come to the same exact conclusion that Elle came to, he realized he was being tested, then gave out the exact answer they wanted to hear, which was the most appropriate, basically showing that the two are basically the same person with different ideologies. Once again, they're proud of his response. And now we're on to the next step. Okay, we got another Kira up in this. How are we going to deal with this? And they've come to a really well, first of all, they sent out the message. They wanted to test and see what the responder would be to kind of get more info onto who this person is, because there wasn't a whole lot of tell signs as to what kind of copycat we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And it hasn't really turned out, I think, how they expected it, because from Light's really upset at the response that he got. He was expecting that a hardcore fan would know that what they were going for was already the best form of action, because the police did the response saying, giving a message to this Kira, and he was expecting that she or whoever it was,
they would fall in line by continuing their mission. Get Elle up. And kill him and knock him off.
Because of course that would be what Kira wants. It's the biggest adversary. And nope. Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. I won't do anything else from now on until you tell me to...
I'm awaiting your next request.
Yeah, I am at your will now. Yeah. So, super submissive, as you said, willing to bend the knee.
Instantly. Instantaneously, just like... Meh.
And Light immediately didn't like it, but he thinks he can work with it.
She also willingly spilled the beans immediately about Shinigamis.
Oh, gosh.
And just instantly letting the world know that there's more to this than just, than just serial killers. And Ryuzaki plus Ryuzoka plus L
Reaganomics
plus grippers. He freaks out.
It's such a crazy, in the moment when they're saying it, it makes me whoa, yeah. I've seen the show, and it makes me feel I cannot believe they're saying this out loud. My mind is whoa, we're escalating way too fast. We can't have this knowledge. But I guess in the realistic sense, I think Elle's reaction is kind of crazy, all things considered. Because if somebody just pulled up on the news, even somebody in power, they're yeah, we got zombies and we got unicorns and dinosaurs in Area 51, or the president came out and said that. I don't know how I would react. Something so absurd.
Yeah.
Demons. The Japanese demons. Let's exchange that info between each other.
Yeah, and it's tough because, in fairness, everything that Kira has done has been within the realm of logic. And it's one thing that's really interesting too is you would think, because the way Elle is, that he would have at some point wanted to dig into how people were being killed. Yeah. And he even dismissed that in one of the earlier episodes. Well, no, not the Shinigami. Okay. Well, yes, he did dismiss the Shinigami thing because he was whatever. It's just he's trolling with me. He's that's it. But Elle decided to not even. I feel there was a moment they're well, how are the murders happening? And he's that's not relevant right now. Let's just try and focus on identifying him. Yeah. Which in reality, I feel you could probably, now that they have a tight rope or tight noose around who it could be, why wouldn't you go down the avenue of okay, well, logistically, how is this happening?
Yeah.
Because they don't believe in the supernatural. This is the modern day world. Mm-hmm. So why wouldn't you go down, the line to be okay, must be a chemical, maybe has connection, maybe he's found a chemical to induce, a heart attack or something like that. Or maybe they would double back and be actually, let's go back and look at the autopsies for all these people. Maybe there's something hidden in there that we're not catching, to try and find a natural, real cause. Or not a natural cause, a physical cause that is making this happen. And then when they figure out it's nothing, then, you would kind of fall in line of oh, okay, maybe there's something more going on that we're just not fully comprehending. But to kind of brush that off to the side and be that doesn't matter, and then get dropped with the Shinigami thing is wait.
Hold on.
Elle's wait a minute, this all makes sense now, because they have to be using the spiritual world or magic to make that happen.
Yeah.
So
I think it'd be cool if the show takes that route where it examines the bodies and sees if there's something more to it. Like, is it some misfire that like triggers these ridiculous like? Because like I don't even know the stipulations you have to have for a heart attack. A lot of things can trigger differently. Stress, like diet, or just genetic. Like I feel like there's so many different causes for it. That it would be interesting for the show to dissect those as potential options, but it hasn't done that yet.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely, just a wild reaction for sure. To like jump the gun all that. But
he fell out of his chair.
But Light brought Elle back into realism really quick and like
to write it off.
Like yeah, exactly.
Well, it was just funny to even like Light's reaction of like, "What are you, a freaking idiot? Like, why are you bringing this up? You're like stitching on us." Of course,
he's like, and he's surrounded by his dad and the other cop, and he's just like, "Are you kidding? Oh, I gotta calm down.
Yeah,
I'm giving myself away."
And
what the fuck? Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Luckily, Light gave or Elle made it worse.
Yeah, he was the
took
bigger
the
reaction.
attention because he was like, "Ah!"
He saved the day, but they're ridiculous. And then Light pulled the don't be an idiot. Of course Shinigami don't exist. Shinigami
Professional gaslighter.
Yeah, he's standing just floating, looking menacing.
He's like,
Ryuk's like, do I mean nothing to you?
Gaslighting at its finest. You're so silly. There's no way there's ghosts.
So silly.
So silly. Also, she revealed, "Oh, I know you don't have the eyes, because..."
That too?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He was like, huh? How does she know? How does she know?
The eyes. Well, what's really going to be fun about this exchange is I was saying this is going to be really fun for Kira because they're going to want to have a scenario where when the two potentially meet up that we don't mention that he's being tracked or listened to or followed by the police. Like, how are you going to have that exchange be natural? How is Kira gonna do this exchange without actually revealing? Like he's being tasked with being himself.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to play into it so well that the percentage increases, but he also can't be so dumb as to it's like the best version of Spy or like Spyfall. You can't reveal too much, but you also don't want to play too dumb for the meetup.
Yeah.
So he's gonna have to play multiple sides to this.
Yeah.
With kind of a dunce of a follower.
And that's the thing too is like in reality, a lot of people would get caught with the Death Note probably pretty early on just because of how difficult it is to use it because of needing to face the name.
Yeah.
And she's an idiot. She took the easy route to get the eyes, because then that makes having the eyes makes you invincible at that point. Because you really you don't need to do all these workarounds. Get Ray Pember to do. You know what I mean? It's
just
like
look at the person and go, "Oh, op."
You just I mean, granted, Ray Pember was helping him kill people that he would never see, like the other FBI agents. But still, she took the easy way out. So it doesn't surprise me that she's like so dense. She doesn't realize that she's like ratting them out so hard, even though she's obsessed with him.
She's quite something to behold. I'm very excited to see your guys' reactions going forward with some of the stuff that involves Misa, particularly. But while she might be lacking in the book smart, I feel like there might be like a level of emotional intelligence she might understand. Which was interesting, like her poking fun at Ren, I believe the Shinigami's name is, about hey, well, don't you fall in love with me, and then kind of poking and prodding to see what that relationship is between them, and then playing it off, and because Ren did say that Ren was interested, Ren wanted to know what the stakes of this person was because Ren took interest in Jealous' interest in the girl. Yeah. So even on base value, on one episode alone, Ren does take apparently more interest than your typical Shinigami. Shinigami are just, they don't give a F. They're playing their chess. They don't watch this like television. Yeah. But Jealous was front screen like a child on Christmas Day watching the show. Yeah. And Ren was interested. It peaks. I'd be curious. Had more Shinigami looked over, would there be a bigger interest? Because I think there's such a disconnect between the two worlds. They're not standing over that giant labyrinth. But that'd be interesting. Because like I said, it's been a while for me too, and my viewership was very minuscule at the time. It was more like being on the phone watching. So I'm definitely picking up a lot more this time around than my first watch through, which is
good.
Very, very fun.
That's fun
for me as well.
So
yeah, the origin.
Well, Ren also dropped that there's a Shinigami King.
There is a Shinigami King, and Ryuk somehow got him.
So
and
Ryu managed to trick him into getting a second
Death Note, which is not common.
Very difficult to do, it seemingly.
Very difficult.
So it was funny because when she was initially telling that, I was like, oh, so the Shinigami King found out that he got duped, so he sent, you to go deal with it. But in reality, she just took the Death Note to not like pay homage to Jealous, but to figure out like what was so interesting about this girl that made him fall in love.
Yeah.
But why give her the Death Note? I don't really. Maybe so she would be able to like speak to her. You know what I mean? Like and be able to
learn more. Yeah.
Be able to actually see each other to understand.
That's a good reason.
Yeah. Instead of just having like the third person, like I'm just gonna follow you around view of the world.
Yeah.
And now we know too that Shinigamis can die by not just outliving their years, but by falling in love.
That's crazy.
Now, I guess it's not necessarily that it's the falling in. It's not falling in love that's the problem, but it's falling in love and taking action to prevent the person from dying that should have died.
Love indirectly killing.
Yeah.
Like blinding the person. It blinds like their goals. It makes them do irrational things.
Yeah. So by jumping in and deterring the death and extending their years beyond what fate has offered, the Shinigami dies and then gives their years to the human.
Yeah. I love that quote. I don't know the exact quote, but I do love the thing. And they just cease to be things. They just are dead. Like I don't know how they. I can't remember.
She said he turned into like neither sand nor dust, or neither rust or sand, or something like that.
Yeah.
He just ceased to exist.
I don't know why, but
it's just a cool way to pull. Word it. Yeah.
A cool way to talk about something pretty somber.
Yeah.
It almost felt like a uplifting, like they cease to have pain kind of sentence.
Yeah.
It felt similar to a line in Berserk where Guts says to a father who lost a kid, it's basically like at least he died happy, or at least he died doing what he loved, or whatever.
Yeah. A lack of suffering.
Yeah, he died doing what he liked. So isn't that okay enough?
Yeah, it's a beautiful way. I love perspective. Like when you go to a funeral, it's like let's have a joyful occasion. Let's have a celebration of somebody's death. Yeah. I love those kind of ways. Now that's not what the show did per se, but just those examples.
Just that idea.
It just brings out that thought.
Yeah, and yes, there's some psycho tried to attack her. Jealous stepped in, like you said. Now Ren's in the position to be with Misa, and Misa's already, like you said, pretty impulsive. Ren said, please don't tell anyone about this. I can't wait to share this with Light.
I'm going to tell Kira about this right now. and Ren's just like, oh, fucking kidding me?
Bruh. Yeah.
Bruh. If that sound effect played during that, I don't think I'd watch the show again.
I think I would tune out too. I think I'd
Bruh.
the show permanently.
Yeah. And Kira and Misa were in the same shop, like, wondering about each other, while she was wondering in a more loving way, like, I wonder what kind of person you are. And Kira's like, fucking idiot. I wonder where you are and what the hell you're doing, because you're ruining this for us.
You're gonna fuck this up for me.
Well, let's hope the next episode starts with them turning right around. Also, just to end off the episode, I'm gonna strike a pose because she's a model and they work very hard. Oh.
JoJo pose.
Any last things, guys? Any last things?
No.
Guys, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you are making a model pose as you're watching this just to be closer in relation to your working title boys. Thank you for the support once again. We'll see you in the next video. Share.
Yoikt and Kai.